अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत् परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत् सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह परब्रह्मणे नमः सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. So we are starting the second lecture on Bhagavad Gita. As you know, Bhagavad Gita has several bhashyas. Each of the bhashyas take this Bhagavad Gita in a very different way. I am trying to deal with the non-controversial portions, that is the portion which is common to pretty much all bhashyas first, and let us try to understand those issues first, and then later on we will see what these bhashyas say differently, why there is a difference, and what is the difference, nature of the difference. Is that okay? So yes. I'm assuming it's fine, and then are there any questions before we start? Anything we need to take care of?
No questions from our side.
Okay, we'll start then. There were a couple of questions last time. Let me see if I can open those. Just a second. Let me share my screen first. Share entire screen. Share. Can you see the screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen, but it's not clear.
It's not clear. Okay. Let me see if I can. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
What do you see?
I see a couple of questions from last class.
Oh, very good. Okay. Some people ask who got moksha, right? In Mahabharata, there's a different aspect. We don't know exactly who got moksha finally, whether Arjuna and whether the Pandavas first went to Swarga and later on they got moksha much later. Anything could have happened. But there is one shloka in the Bharata, I'm sorry, in Bhagavata, Narada Muni says to Maharaja Yudhishthira, one of the Pandavas, obviously, Kamat, Dveshat, Bhayat, Snehat, Yatha Bhaktyeshware Manah, Aveshya Tadagham Hitva, Bahavas Tadgatim Gataha. What this means is, many people have different emotions towards Lord, like Kama, desire, Dvesha, hatred, Bhaya, fear, or even friendship. Yatha bhakti ishware manaha. With these attitudes, people have had yatha bhakti ishware manaha means with intent devotion to Lord. Manaha aveshya tadagam hitva. That means having focused their minds with different emotions on the Lord. These many people have gone to the right state. That means they have attained moksha. They have attained sadgati. Gopyaha kamat bhayat kamsaha. Gopyaha means gopika stris. They attained the Lord through love. Bhayat kamsaha, by fear. Kamsa attained moksha. Dveshat chaidyadayo nripaha. Hatred, Ishishupala and all these other people, other had attained God due to hatred. Sambandhat Vrishnayaha. Just by friendship, Pandavas attained. By Sambandhat means relationship. Through relationship, the Vrishnivamsha or the relatives of Krishna attained moksha. Snehat yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. Snehat means through friendship, Pandavas attained moksha. Bhaktya vayam. Through bhakti, vayam means people like Narada attained moksha. So this is what is said, and I don't have any other information regarding who attained moksha. So if I get more information, I will let you know. The other thing about this is, just a second, let me. So can you see my screen? I'm assuming you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see the screen, but it's blank.
Does it say why study Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, why study Bhagavad Gita? Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Okay. See, many people, I just want to put some doubts aside before we deeply go into Bhagavad Gita. There are some doubts which are important actually. One may think, right? So think about the modern times. How many people are attending Bhagavad Gita class now? A few people, right? Really speaking, a lot of people are not. A lot of people, they're having their own, I'm sure they're busy doing some things. But if you think about the most of the people in the world, what are they doing? What are they interested in? There is a wonderful shloka from Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya says, Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni saktaha, vruddhastavat chinta saktaha, pare brahmani kopina saktaha. What does this mean? It says, children are always totally engrossed in their play. They're always interested in playing from morning to evening. Tarunastavat taruni saktaha. A young man is interested in a young lady and vice versa. So their interest goes away in those kind of life. Vruddhastavat chinta saktaha. A person who is older is always worried. Oh, how will I do this? How will I take care of my family, my relatives, my parents? How will I do this, that? They are engrossed in their own activities, always worried about something. Pare brahmani kopina saktaha makes a bold statement. Shankaracharya makes a bold statement that pare brahmani kopina saktaha. Nobody is interested in God. Nobody is interested in the eternal welfare. Really. What I mean by really, or what he means by really, is if somebody is totally engrossed and interested in Parabrahman, they would dedicate their lives. They would think of him all the time. Only for Shariram Kevalam Karma Kurvan Apnoti Kilbisham, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita is one of the chapters. Only for what little is needed for the body. Whatever is needed for the body. The person who tries to only fulfill the basic needs of the body and then focuses on God all the time. This is the true, real nature of a true aspirant. So this is one aspect of it. Well, don't we know this? People can say, right? People can say, don't we know this? This is natural, nothing big deal. Shankaracharya just states the obvious. There is nothing very big thing about it. Some people, on the other hand, have taken a different view, particularly in Sri Vaishnava viewpoint. Sri Vaishnava viewpoint, there is something, I want to bring this out because many people who may think about this may not want to talk about this, but I want to bring this out anyway. Some of them, Sri Vaishnavas, probably some Sri Vaishnavas fall into the category of the top line, what Shankaracharya is talking about. And some Sri Vaishnavas who have graduated and then who think that, okay, we have a tradition, we have a way towards moksha, We have found a way towards moksha. Our acharyas have taught us. So we have done prapatti. And after prapatti, what do we need to do? We not much, because God will take care of everything. We don't have to do much. That's the whole thing, right? That is, we are giving our responsibility to Sriman Narayana and surrender to him completely, wholeheartedly. And we don't have anything to worry. So for those people, what is the use of Bhagavad Gita? There's a question there. See, why did this question come up? Some people, many people think that if you are incapable of doing Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, which is arduous and which are very difficult to do, then you are capable of doing Sharanagati or surrender to the Lord. If you're capable of doing Sharanagati, you should not have capability to do Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So the very fact that you are doing Sharanagati or surrender, you are incapable of taking any other means. If you are incapable of taking any other means, why should a Prapanna even worry about Bhagavad Gita? What's the point in Ramanujacharya writing this whole huge book called Gita Bhashya, and so many commentators of our system of thought have given so many commentaries on Ramanuja Bhashya, like the Tattva Chandrika and all. Saying, what is the point here? Doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't make sense. I thought of that, like I thought of this and asked some people. I asked Alvar Swamin, and I also asked Narasimhan, who's my close friend, who is the son of Dr. N.S. Sankaracharya, my guru. I had some very good answers from them. I want to be interactive here. Do you think this is a valid question? I want to open up here a little bit to hear from you what you feel. Let me go back to my stop presenting. So am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear and see you.
Yeah, I want to be interactive. Please, anybody, like, do you think I have a valid question here? Does my question make sense?
Yeah, your question is valid, but after doing Sharanagati or with Acharyan, it doesn't mean that we give up any and all the pursuit towards knowing more about Bhagavan. So it's there's always a question: what do we do after Sharanagati? You continue to do whatever you're doing as per your Varnashrama Dharma, and also continue your interest in Bhagavan and his Diva Cheshtisat. So from that angle, it makes a lot more sense to indulge into Bhagavad Gita and other works. This is my opinion.
Okay, got it. Let's do one thing. Let's ask other people what they think. Sundar, any comments? Any questions, comments? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Kumada, any questions? Does this make sense? I don't hear either. Okay, Srinath, you brought a good point here. That's important, but there's something more to it than what we're talking about. What it is how do you do prapatti? How can you do prapatti without bhakti? Can you do prapatti without bhakti? Does prapatti mean that you don't have bhakti? There is some level of bhakti, right? Mm-hmm. Some level of focus, some level of trust in an acharya, some level of trust saying that acharya says that you do surrender to the Sriman Narayana. Definitely there is a bhakti element there, number one. And how did that bhakti element come? Due to some good karmas you have done. Some karma is also involved in the past. And some jnana is involved. Some kind of a internal jnana that, oh, there is some God, there is me, I may be in trouble, the Jeeva, Sharira will go away, some purva karmas. So, bhakti is not alone. For prapatti also, bhakti is an anga. And karma and jnana become some kind of angas. But they are not full in the form of karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, which will be described in the Bhagavad Gita. which we will talk about. So some people may think that why are you bringing this question now when you haven't even defined what Bhakti Yoga is or Karma Yoga is or anything like that. It's just to make sure that some people may already know this. Some people may already have known about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and they may be sitting in the audience in this class, right? So for them, for Sharanagati also, you have Bhakti as an Anga. Anga means prerequisite. Sharanagati is a prerequisite. For Sharanagati, Bhakti is a prerequisite. For Bhakti, Karma and Jnana are prerequisites. So we know that. But what is the difference? Let me dwell on this a little bit further. Sharing the PPT will help here. 1 second. Just a second. Let me share the PPT here.
Not here.
Can you see the window here now?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Balas, see, let me just quickly. So what Vedanta Deshika says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Rahasya Trayasara, and this is common even to Tengalai Mata called Pillalokacharya and other people also, this is sort of common. After the Sharanagati, one should be like a Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya means totally focused on spirit, 100% focused on spirit. Sthita Pragya is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter in detail. We will come to that later. Further, Swanishta Vijnana Adhikarana is wrong there. Adhikara it should be. That Adhikara, Swanishta Vijnana means one should be true to his Nishta, means that one should know that he is a Shesha of the Lord. That means even a Prapanna should know that he is living only for the sake of Lord. His life and whole focus of his existence is to please the Lord. So that's very important. If that is important, that means Shastra Jnana, in fact, in that Adhikara, reading of Bhagavad Gita, reading of Sri Bhasha, reading of all these things are a daily duty for such a person. He has to study and think of all these things to understand his true nature and not forget his true nature, which is natural. So forgetting the true nature can occur to anybody, even after Prapati. And that people have to constantly think about remembering their true nature. So hope this clarifies this question to a certain extent. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, now we go to the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Where were we before? The way I'm going to deal with Bhagavad Gita now is try to understand what's going on in the 2nd chapter in a quick way, and then try to understand from an approximate point of view. Why would I say an approximate point of view? It's very hard to extract the essence of Gita without leaning towards one bhashya or the other bhashya. So we'll try to get the focus of it. Okay, and I'm going to share some. Let me see if I can share. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see the Bhagavad Gita original right here?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Bhagavan starts in the middle of the battlefield when Arjuna has given up the fight and has become quiet, and then he has requested Lord Krishna to tell him about dharma, tell him about what he should do. Now, Sanjaya says, Evamukta Hrishikesham Godakesha Parantapa Nayotseiti Govindam Ukta Tushnim Bapuvaha. That means Sanjaya says, Arjuna stopped fighting and then became quiet. Lord Krishna starts, and Arjuna tells this to Dhritarashtra. Tamuvacha Hrishikesha Prahasanniva Bharata Senayor Ubhyor Madhye Vishidantamidam Vachaha. That means Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna, who is in delusion in the middle of the battle, in between the two armies. Lord Krishna says, Ashochan Anvashocasam, what should not be worried about, what should not be lamented upon, you are unnecessarily lamenting. Prajnavadanscha, and you are talking as if you know everything. Gatasu nagatasuncha nanushochanti panditaha. That means dead people and agatasun, from which the life force cannot go, that is from the souls, from the Jeeva. Nanu shochanti panditaha. The knowledgeable people never worry about these two, Lord Krishna says. Next he says, I will not read the Sanskrit text, just in case, if I need to read the Sanskrit text, I'm going to read. Okay. What Lord Krishna says is, in essence, there was never a time where we did not exist. In the future, we will exist. All these kings, you, that is Arjuna, and myself, that is Lord Krishna, what Lord Krishna says, all of us existed in the past and will exist in the future forever. So what Lord Krishna is mentioning is there is something eternal about us. There's something eternal in us. And that's what is the essence of this shloka. In this shloka, Ramanujacharya takes a very different line of thinking, line of attack, and establishes that there is difference among souls. There's constant difference among souls and things like that. That we will get to this later. And Shankaracharya takes a slightly different approach here in this shloka. We'll come back to that. But the important point to remember here is there's something eternal, and you should not be worried. Intelligent people will not worry about the eternal or the one which is perishable, because perishable is the nature of the body. We'll come back to this again. Lord Krishna continues, Dehinosmin yatha dehe. That means in the body goes through different phases: childhood, youth, and old age. But Dehi is the one which is inside the body, the one which holds the body together. There's something in this body which is holding the body together. This entity will go into a different body after death. Dhiraha tatrana mukhyati. An intelligent person will not be confused by this. There is nothing to worry, there is nothing to lament, there is nothing to get confused about, because this is the nature of life. That's what Lord Krishna says. The next verse says, Matras prashastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkadaha. Lord Krishna says, the experiences in this world, which are obtained because of the connection between our senses and the sensual objects, and this connection will bring forth cold, hot, happiness, sadness, all these dvandvas, they call it as dvandvas, is pairs of opposites. They come and go constantly. However, they are not eternal. That means someday they have to stop. This will go, all this will stop. Tan stitikshas for Bharata, it's a very, very important word here. O Arjuna, a brave person should withstand, which should bear the ups and downs in life, should face the ups and downs in life, and should know that that is the nature of life. Because at the end of the day, and when everything is over, they don't hurt you anymore. They will go away. That is the state of. What is that state? Let's try to see what Lord Krishna says here. The next verse, Yam hinabhyathayantye purusham purusharshabha. What that means is Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna as Purusharshabha. That means you are a bull among men, you are a chief among men. What he is saying is that person who is not affected, who is not perturbed, and who doesn't lament about all these things which happen in life, and that person who can have equanimity through sorrows and happiness, and who is courageous. Dhira can be taken as even dhiyaramate, that means who is intelligent, whose intelligence shines forth. So amrutatvaya kalpate, he is ready for immortality. He knows he is the right person, capable, eligible for immortality. Nasato vidyate bhavaha nabhavo vidyate sataha. I am mentioning this verse because remember this verse carefully. This is a very complex verse in terms of philosophy. Most of the acharyas go deep into explaining what it is. Let me give a simple view. Nasato vidyate bhavaha. That which does not exist, does not come into being, and does not persist. And that which is eternal, that which is real, will not go away, will not vanish. People who know the essence of Tattva, Tattva means the real truth of the universe, the real truth of entities. That is, the intelligent people know the essence of what is perishable and what is not perishable. So whether these are the real meanings, we will see. But in general, what this means is there's something which is constant, which will never change its constant nature, and something which is constantly perishable, and that perishableness also will not change. This is what is the indication of this shloka. We can take this in this way because that fits in the train of thoughts which leads to the next shloka. Avinashita tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tatam. This shloka says that entity is avinashi, means is indestructible. There is no destruction to that entity. That entity pervades all of this. Ena sarvam idam tatam. Vinasham avyasya nakaschitum karhati. Nobody can destroy that constant entity. See, this is where this is taken to be soul by one acharya, and this is taken to be Atman or Parabrahman or Brahman by one acharya. So the Sanskrit leads itself into both interpretations. And we'll see what happens. It doesn't matter if the interpretations are different. Avinashita tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tatam means there is an indestructible entity which pervades all this. And that entity cannot be destroyed by anybody. The next verse says, this body, that is all these bodies, have ends. That means they go away one day. One day they have to break and stop functioning. But the shariri, or one which holds the Sharira, or one which is inside the Sharira, or the real entity, that is real, it is eternal. That is non-perishable, non-destructible, and it is also not understandable. It's a prameya. That means pramanas are by the pratyaksha pramana, or by actual experience, or by inference, or by shastra. It just cannot be understood properly. What is this consciousness? What is this eternal entity? What is this indestructible entity in this body? We can feel it in a way, or because we are saying, oh, I'm alive and I'm something different from the body, but at the same time, it's not completely comprehensible. Tasmat yudhyasva bharata. When he says, Lord Krishna says, so go fight. Why? Because you cannot kill the eternal entity. And the shariras the bodies will perish anyway. Go ahead. Why? Because this is the dharma yuddha. You did not ask for war. You are forced to take up this war. You didn't choose this war. So you should go ahead. Ya enam vetti hantaram, yaschainam manyate hatam, ubhavato na vijanitaha nayam hanti na hanyate. The person who thinks that he is a killer, and if you think that, oh, he got killed, both of these do not know, because neither does this kill, nor will it be ever killed. This Jeeva cannot kill, in the sense that because the Jeeva cannot be killed, right? It is eternal. Eternal things cannot be killed. And how can a knowledgeable Jeeva can engage in this kind of a killing of something which cannot be killed? This needs a little bit more deeper thought, but we will just hold at this level, the superficial level for now. All it says is Jiva is, there is an eternal entity in the body. But we'll go to the details, looking at different perspectives on this shloka. This shloka says, Najayate mriyate va kadachit. What it says is, this eternal entity does not get born. It takes birth. Neither does it die. It doesn't come to existence and then stop being and go away from existence. This is unborn, eternal, Puranaha. That means it is always new. It's very old, but very ever fresh. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It does not get killed when the body is destroyed. The next shloka says, Veda avinashinam nityam. The person who knows that this entity is eternal and unchanging, unborn, how can he cause anybody's death? And how can he kill anyone? This is not possible. It is impossible. Because this eternal entity is indestructible. And even if you say that, well, separation of a body from soul itself is a problem, right? It should not kill, because that causes separation of the body and soul. But think about naturally what happens in life. Naturally, the bodies go away anyway. Just like how we throw away the old clothes and wear new clothes, this Jiva or this spiritual entity throws away the old bodies and acquires new bodies eventually. So this is the nature of life, because time in a Mahabharata shloka, beautifully somebody sent me the other day, time cooks the human beings like in a vessel, and the months and years are one of these sticks or something, or the ladles. So it gives a description of a wonderful pictorial description of how time makes people take different states from childhood to youth to old age and death. So this is nature. That's what Lord Krishna says here is. That means like how we throw away the old clothes and wear new clothes. This Jeeva throws away the old bodies and wears new bodies. The next shloka says, the weapons cannot cut this entity. Fire cannot burn this entity, which is real and eternal. Nor does water can wet this entity, nor does wind can dry this entity. It is untouched by physical experiences, physical processes. It cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be cleaved, it cannot be wetted or dried. It is the eternal. Sarvagataha is everywhere. Sthanuhu, it is unchangeable. It is firm. Achalaha, it doesn't move. Sthanuhu is like a pillar. It's constant. Sanatana, it is eternal. It's been there for a long time. That means forever. Avyaktoyam, achintyoyam. Avyakta means it's unmanifest. That means it doesn't appear. See, if it's an object like a computer or a cell phone or anything, like it's manifest. Oh, here it is, we say, right? So this entity called the self or the spirit is not manifest, unmanifest. Achintya, it is beyond thought. You can't understand it. Only to a particular level you can feel it or understand it, but it evades thought. And avikarya means it does not undergo any change. Once you know this, you should not worry at all. Oh, Arjuna, do not worry. Even if you think, oh, Arjuna, it is born nitya jatam, it always takes birth. And again, after birth, it will grow up and again dies. Even if you think that the spirit takes birth and destroys, undergoes destruction, you should not worry. Because that is because it's beyond your control. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha. The person who is born will definitely end up dead someday. And once the person dies, he takes another birth. And this is unavoidable. This is a natural process. If that is so, why are you worried? This will happen anyway. See, we didn't know where we came from before birth. Avyaktadini, we were unmanifest. All these entities are unmanifest before they take birth. But once they have the body, they are manifest because of their bodies. They appear to us, they interact with us, they play, do whatever, right? Vyakta madhyani. Avyakta nidhanani means once these people die, they again become unmanifest. They don't know, they are not apparent to us, they don't appear in front of us. Tatraka paridevana. You didn't even know. Why are you worried about it? Because you didn't even know before they took this body, where they were. And where they will go, you will not know. So do not worry about it. This entity is so powerful. There's a wonderful verse called Ascharyavat Pashyati. What it says is, a person with great knowledge, with lives and lives of pure mind, a mature person over different births, he may perceive this Atman, Ascharyavat Pashyati Kaschidenam. Ah, what a wonderful entity it is. It is right here in my body. It seems to be untouched by many, many things. I go through this, my body goes through childhood, youth and old age. And this entity seems to be the same entity. I remember my childhood. I remember everything. This entity is unchanged through all these times. Even to get this feeling and try to understand that, oh, I am different from this body, that itself is a great mature perception. Not everybody will perceive this, because many people may think that, oh, there's nothing else, I am just a body. It's just a combination, the body and maybe there's some mind or something in between which says there is I am. In fact, even scientists have figured out, scientists have tried to say that this I is an illusion caused inside the brain, which just gives an illusion that the whole body belongs to one particular thing, and it gives an illusion of self. So science can, using science, you can't even perceive this self. But rarely a person gets a feeling that due to the purva karma, due to pure mind acquired through good karmas over several janmas or several lives. But even that person, he just looks at it, and he may even have the knowledge. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah. He may have extra knowledge to even go and tell other people, oh no, look at this. This is a strange entity sitting inside the body here. This is eternal. He may say something about it. And the other people also may be surprised hearing about this entity called Jeeva. People who hear him also don't understand. Neither does the person who tells other people understands this properly. That means this entity, which is Jeeva, is beyond thought. People think that they know it. They just don't know completely. This escapes our knowledge. This escapes our experience. This is a unique entity, which is the self. Lord Krishna continues. Why is Lord Krishna saying so many things about this entity? Because this Jiva or the spirit is very difficult to understand. And you call it Jiva or Atma or Brahman, it doesn't matter. This spiritual entity is very difficult. So Lord Krishna spends some time giving this concept to Arjuna. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam, the one which bears this body, one which is in this body, the spirit here, it is definitely imperishable in every body. Hence, in none of the individuals, the spirit in every person is eternal. So do not worry about that spirit. Even if you consider your swadharma, what your duty, you should not be worried at all, because for a kshatriya, for a military person, a dharma yuddha or a just war is an opportunity, because the person will attain either victory here or heaven. It's a very important event for a true kshatriya. That's what Lord Krishna says. Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram upapratam. It's an accidentally, the doors of heaven are open to him. Sukhina kshatriya partha labante yuddham idrisham. The lucky are the ones, these kshatriyas, who can be in such a fight. They didn't choose it. It occurred naturally, and they were forced into it. So the Lord Krishna is not trying to say that, oh, pick up some fight and just go and die. It doesn't matter. You will go to heaven. This is not the way Lord Krishna is saying. It's very, very clear here. Atha tvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. Suppose you don't participate in this dharma yuddha or the just war. You will lose your fame, kirti, and you will incur sin. And people will talk about you that constantly. Avyaya means eternally people will think, oh, Arjuna, that guy is a coward. Always they think that you're a coward. And such a coward is worse than death. And suppose you say, it's okay, I'm not going to fight, doesn't matter, and you go away. Do you think your opponents will be kind to you and say, oh, he is a very capable person, he just ran away from the war? They will always think that you ran away due to fear and not because of your intent to run away. You were considered as a great person by them, by Duryodhana and all these Kauravas, and now you become an entity of laughter. You become just a cheap person. You never want to do this. They will talk about you forever, and you will become an example of cowardice. What's more painful than that? If you die in this battle, you go to heaven. If you win this war, you will enjoy what you get out of the war, whatever you get out of the war. So, O Arjuna, make up your mind, go and fight these Kauravas. This is what Lord Krishna says. And he says, you should bear sukha and dukkha, that is sorrow and happiness, with equanimity. Loss and gain, win, victory and defeat with equanimity. Go ahead and fight. You will not incur any sin. This is valuable either way. Then comes this verse, Eshate Bihita Sankhya. This is an important verse. Till now, whatever Lord Krishna told Arjuna is about the nature of self, which is known as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya. The Sankhya means number. The number. Why the Sankhya Yoga is famous for giving the numbers? Because it gives 24 entities which are material. 25th entity is Jeeva. Sankhya Yoga gives this number. Chaturvamshatmaka, Prakriti, which is Chaturvamshatmaka, that means the Prakriti which has got 24 different divisions, and one which is Prakriti, one which is Jeeva, which is spirit. The 24 number we can enumerate. This is Panchabhutas, the five, the earth, water, wind, air, fire. These are the Panchabhutas, which are material entities. Panchendriyas. Pancha Indriya means the eyes, tongue, skin. These are the sense organs. So these are the 5 sense organs, Panchabhutas. Manas is the other Indriya, that is the Manas. Buddhi, Ahankara. There is 5 sense objects also. That means the touch, touch, taste. These are the different objects of senses. So that makes you 15. Then Mano Buddhi Indriya. Also, there is included is the Pancha Karmendriyas. Vak, Pani, Pada, Paya, Upaya. Vak means speech, hands, legs, or other excretory organs, and everything like that put together. All these things come to 24. Basically, if you add manas, buddhi, ahankara, these are entities taken as material. Manas, buddhi, ahankara, they are separate entities. We can go through details about why manas is different from ahankara and all those things. There are philosophical concepts. Sankhya Yoga separates them into 24 entities which are physical, and spiritual is one entity. They call him as Purusha. Here, that is why Sankhya Nama Buddhihi means this is an intelligence about what is spiritual and what is material. And the nature of spirit is explained here till now, till second chapter, 38 shloka. After that, Buddhya Yukto Esha te bihita sanke buddhi yoge tu imam shruno. Now you understand about yoga. What exactly yoga is? Yoga, what is the definition of yoga? Lord Krishna gives a definition of yoga, and different acharyas try to understand this yoga in different ways. Buddhya yukto ayapartha karma bandham prahasisi. That means knowing the karma yoga, this yoga, you will win over the shackles of karma. What is karma bandha? Think about this. That's an interesting thing. We are bound. We are bound by our actions. The previous actions create the environment for the future life for us. Whatever we do in the past, that will hurt us tomorrow in some ways in our life. So this is how the karma bandha occurs. Karma bandha is explained in different ways. So the thing is, Papa pragyam nashayati. There is a sentence called this. Papa pragyam nashayati. If you do sinful activities, your consciousness, your pure thinking, your mind becomes polluted. Pragyam nashayati means pure thinking, truthful thinking. That means knowledge is destroyed by sins. If you do sinful activities, your knowledge gets destroyed. Nashta prajnaha papameva karoti. Once your knowledge is destroyed, you don't know what is right or wrong. Because you don't know what is right or wrong, you will continue in sinful activities. And that again causes more ignorance. So this is known as the cycle of karma, avidya, anadi chakra. Karma means your actions. Avidya means ignorance. This karma and avidya act together. And this anadi chakra is an eternal cycle. Bad karmas leads to ajnana, and ajnana leads to more bad karmas. Hence, we don't seem to understand what is truth. Our judgment is clouded, our vision is clouded because we don't understand ourselves. Who are we? Our jivatma, our spirit, the nature of spirit, we don't understand. So we are bound in this karma bandha. By doing karma yoga, you will get out of this karma bandha, this problem of evil cycle of ignorance and wrong actions. This will go away if you engage and if you understand this karma yoga. That is what Lord Krishna is saying. Karma yoga is in short given as yoga here. Neha abhikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Once you start, there is even if you do a little bit of karma yoga, if this yoga, that will not go away in vain. You will not waste. It only will help you. And when you do pratyavaya means if you don't do what do you call, you will get sin or something like that. That is not there. Pratyavaya dosha means one person, as a young Brahmin, one person should do Sandhya Vandana every morning, midday, and in the evening. There is a rule like that. Aharaha Sandhyam Kurvita. There is a rule, right? And if that person does not do Sandhya Vandana, there is something known as Pratyavaya dosha. That means there is sin of not doing that daily duty. Similarly, Pratyavaya Navidyate means by doing karma yoga, there is by not doing karma yoga, you will not have sin, you will not incur sin. But by doing a little bit also the right karma yoga, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. You will be saved by great fear, from a great fear, from a great mishap. You will be saved. You don't know what kind of wrong things can happen to you in life now and hereafter. But by doing karma yoga, you will be put in the right path. You will be saved from lots of trouble which may affect your life. So this karma yoga is a fantastic, very useful thing to do. It's very valuable. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदना बहुशा ह्यनंताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम. The right attitude, vyavasayatmika, is focused attitude about the understanding that there is a spiritual entity eternal in us, and having that in mind constantly and going towards realization of what that is with one-mindedness. That person always works towards the goal. For people who are embroiled in so many different activities, bahusha kahyanantascha, they don't have any focus in spiritual progress. They want to get into this or that. Like monkeys, they just go from one branch to the other, try to get value in the life outside in the material world, but they will never find real happiness there, because they're not looking for the real spirit where all the happiness lies. Realization of self is very important, but that is possible only for the one-minded person who has one goal in life and he ignores the other aspects of life. I will come and stop in a particular location where the idea ends. So let's get to that point. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashchitaha. There are one set of people, they think that, oh, why are you worried about that self? And it's, first of all, it's beyond our thinking and beyond our knowledge. It's not manifest. It's not there. Here, if I get, if I get children and if I do some yaga and I'll get children and I get wealth or something, I can get anything, right? Vedas have different methodologies prescribed to achieve wealth here. Maybe we should just do those yajnas and have those wealth, and that's real and it's enjoyable right here. Or we can do yajnas to go and reach heaven. That's also enjoyable. So the pure Vedavad, there are people who only think that this is what is valuable in life. Why worry about the spirit? They say. They even talk in flowery speeches that this is the best thing you can ever get. They're all wrong. They are kamatmanaha. They are desirous of pleasure here and hereafter. And they don't realize that such karmas will lead them into another birth. And again, that gives them so many fruits of their actions, which may be good or bad. And again, they will get into another birth. They will be thrown into an eternal cycle of births and deaths, where they don't know the real goal of life. They always think that pleasure here and hereafter is the only goal, and they will delude themselves and delude others around them. And they're involved in lots of activities, kriya vishesha bahulam, lots of activities, all with the aim of enjoying material wealth, which will not give them happiness. Such people who are overpowered by the desire for wealth here and hereafter, sincere one focused mind on self cannot exist. Their mind are torn hither and thither in just pursuit of wealth or happiness here or hereafter. They cannot focus on the self. Samadho na vidiyate. Samadho here means manas. Their intelligence cannot stay focused in the real goal of self. then one can say, oh, Vedas talk about all these yajnas. I didn't talk about these yajnas. Vedas talk about these yajnas. Nothing wrong what I do. I'm just following the Vedas. One can say, no, that's not right. Vedas cater to different. They are like Sahasra Mata Pitra Sama. They are like thousands of mothers and fathers with so much of consideration to humanity, which humanity can be heterogeneous in the sense that not everybody will be interested in moksha. Some people have different gunas, nature. Some people may be tamasic. They cannot focus on these kind of things. They can probably just do physical activities. Some people are driven by desires, like Rajasic people. Some people, not everybody is interested in moksha or Atman or something which is interesting to the sattvic people. So to cater to different kind of people, the Vedas give different kinds of prescriptions. Not all these prescriptions should be consumed by you. If you want to focus on that Atma, you have to give up the looking for some things or protecting what you have. Niryoga kshema. Yoga means to acquire something which you don't have. Kshema means to protect what you already have acquired. All these kind of activities you have to give up. You have to focus on sattva guna, which is purity of mind, and you should bear the pain or happiness which comes due to life. Life is filled with ups and downs, hot and cold treatment, praise and blasphemy. All these things you should be able to bear with equanimity and then focus on Atman, or the self, or the spirit. So the ocean can give so much of water to everybody. You can use water for irrigation, water for salt extraction, or whatever you want to do. The ocean gives so many things. But a pure Brahmana, Brahmana here means Brahmanati, one who is focused in the spirit only. It's not a Brahmana is not a caste here. Please don't mistake it as a caste. One who is intent on achieving spiritual progress should only take what is necessary from this ocean of knowledge called Vedas. Hence, karmanyavadikaraste, you have your duty is to do the right job. Don't worry about the fruits of the action. Just do it. Don't find ma karma pala hetur boho. What it means is, don't think that you are the reason for the effects of karma, or you are the reason for the karma. The action, you're not causing the action, nor because of your work, the fruits come out of the action. Mate sangostu akarmani. That means don't stay without karma. Karma is natural in your body. You have to be in doing the right things. You cannot stay quiet without doing any action. So this yuddha is the right thing for you. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddha samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Here Lord Krishna starts defining what yoga is. Yoga is yogastha kuru karmani. Yoga means it is equanimity. Do your work with equanimity. Don't get attached to the fruits or to the karma. You are not the doer. Don't think that you are the doer, nor don't think that the effects of this, the effects which come out of the actions belong to you. Don't be upset with downs or ups of this war or this similar kind of karma yoga. Samattvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. That's what Lord Krishna says. Those people who are attached to wealth, to the effects of karma, the results of karma, they are of very, very low grade, low level. The A person who has this equanimity is several thousand times. That means he is far superior. I'm just saying several thousand times just to give you that there's so much difference between a person with equanimity and those who go after the fruits of the actions, because they are low people. They will get into a lot of trouble, and they are losing their own minds by getting attached to the fruits of actions. Buddhau sharanam anvicha. Be where it is. Focus on such a mind which won't be affected or attached to the results. Having such a buddhi or such a mindset, he will go beyond punya or papa, good and bad. Nothing will affect him. Sins or punya, nothing will affect that person. And that is the pure state of bliss. Tasmad yogaya yudhyasva. So have the attitude of yoga, and yoga is deftness in action. The best way of action. It is the efficient action which does not entangle you into more karmas and more miseries, but it will relieve you from this bondage. This is very important. And how does this work? That we need to go deep into. That means the karma yoga burns away the past karmas which are binding you while you're doing the action. It's very interesting. Karmajam buddhikta hi palam tektva manishinha janmabandha vinirmuktaha padam gachanti anamayam. Leaving the fruits of actions, the intelligent ones with the equanimity will be relieved of this cycle of births and deaths and this bondage, and they will go to a place where there is no disease, anamayam, diseaseless, eternal, pure, a happy situation or a happy state. That is the state you go by the right action, with the right attitude. Edate moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tadagantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Once you can extract yourself from the quagmire of delusion, from the quicksand, what they call it as a quicksand, where you get people get sucked up by the quicksand. It's very difficult to get out of this delusion, this infatuation for matter and material happiness. Once you can extricate yourself from such a quagmire, then you will not be interested in whatever the Vedas sometimes say as a heaven or something like that, or whatever somebody else is going to tell you, oh, this is greater, that is greater. You will not be perturbed by the attractions shown by those people who don't know the real knowledge of self. So it's hard to extract yourself from this situation of delusion, but you have to. Once your mind understands with clarity, thinking with completely understanding what the Vedas say, all the entire Vedas, what exactly is the summary of it, what's the right thing and what's the wrong thing. Once you know about it very clearly, then your mind achieves peace. Then you will also achieve yoga. That means realization of self. Here, of course, not every acharya will do it in this way. I'm just giving you tada yogam avapsyasi means you attain the union. You get connected to spirit. But let us see what that means based on different acharyas. So till here, this is the sermon of Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Now Arjuna asked a question about Sthita Pragya. We will do that later. I'm going to open this session. Second, stop presenting. Now I'll open it for question and answers. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions if you have.
Hello, this is Hema Srinath.
Okay.
And I have a question about the statement, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana.
Mhm.
So in Bhagavad Gita, we also have the Charma Shloka, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So I'm seeing a conflict between the two statements here, in the sense that on the one hand, Krishna says, don't just focus on what karmas you do, don't focus on the action. And then the way I understand Charma Shloka is Krishna is saying, do Sharanagati and I will give you moksha. So I have this objective in mind before I do something. So do we say that fruit is equal to objective? Can we say, is fruit different from objective?
No, I don't understand the question properly. I don't know how you see. What exactly is the question? What is the controversy there? I don't understand the question.
Okay, the question is, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana means focus on your actions, not on the results, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the Charma Shloka says, the defines the result and then says the action is Sharanagati.
What is the see there the goal is what? What is the goal?
The goal is moksha.
Moksha,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
The
then
action is Sharanagati.
okay. So good question. See, I'll try to simplify this and say, um, for everybody there is one goal. The thing is, the goal of moksha should not be taken as a goal. Here in the karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana mate sangosto karmani ma karma pala heturbuhu, that means do not be interested in the results of the action, right?
Mm-hmm.
These results of these actions are physical gains of some kind, a gain of wealth or gain of power, fame, or something like that, right? All these physical actions when you say these are the actions, right? Any actions like this in Karma Yoga, it involves the body and some actions, and that will have some results, which are some specific gains of some kind, right?
Yes.
These kind of phalas don't be involved in this. Lord Krishna is not saying that you should not ask for moksha, right? In everywhere, Atma, the achieving of self, achieving of moksha, achieving of jnana and all is important. Lord Krishna supports that, right?
Yes.
Focus on spiritual union with God, focus on God, focus on a realization are all good goals. When you say karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu, these are for pleasures here and hereafter. When you say here and after, pleasure in another realm, like a swarga, where you will have more of something, 100 times more intensive experience than what we have here, or physical pleasure or anything like that, right? So this kind of pleasure is not the right goal. Moksha is the right goal, and that goal is not denied by Lord Krishna. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. See, the thing is, this is a very controversial verse. What exactly is sharanam vraja then? What action is involved in that, in sharanam vraja? Is it a jnana form? Is that mentally a surrender? Does it involve any physical aspect of it? If it is only a karma form, how can that lead to moksha? Lord Shankaracharya in one says, in Bhajagovindam, he says, Jnana vihina sarvamatena siddhim bhajati na janma shatena. That means without jnana, one cannot attain moksha, siddhi. Without jnana, he cannot attain. So can karma lead to moksha? What is the Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja? What does it mean? That is a very controversial Shastra. Let us take that in a different class, much later, not now. Let us clarify what Karma Yoga is. Let us build the foundations, Jnana, Karma, and Bhakti Yoga, and all those things, and then come to Sarvadharman Parityaja later. See, because of the super popularity of Sarvadharman Parityaja among Shiva Vaishnavas, there is a habit for everyone to totally ignore the rest of Bhagavad Gita and come to the Sarvadharman Parityaja. Forget about the first 18 chapters fundamentally, and then come to the last few slokas and finish it off, right? Isn't it a rather awkward thing? What do you think?
Yeah.
So people talk about Sarvadharman Parityaja without even going through the entire Bhagavad Gita. Because somebody told me that's the end of it. Why are you bothered about all the other things? You have to deeply meditate upon what Lord Krishna says. Bhagavad Gita kinchid adhita, not kinchit. You have to really study Bhagavad Gita and understand it very well. Okay, let's get to the next question. Partharthi is asking a question. Partharthi, Sholunga, unmute your.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Krishna. It was excellent. I want to thank you. Number two, you basically this is a two-part question. Yeah, are you able to hear now?
Srinath, can you please mute yourself, Srinath? And let me just see if I can mute. Okay, I'm muted now. Everybody's muted. Okay, go ahead, Parthati.
Very good. So, Krishna basically in the first canto said that, you cannot run away with this. If you run away from the whole thing, people would think that you're running away from fear. Okay. And hence, that's not the right thing to do. Okay? And if, just as a hypothetical question, if Arjuna had told him, saying that, you know what, I'm not running away because of fear, I just don't want this. I have realized that this material wealth of getting into Hastinapur and ruling that is not going to make me happy. Assuming that if he had told that line, then would it mean that he's right, or what would have been
the consequence?
What would have been the consequence of the whole thing?
Okay.
Oftentimes, we in our real life we go through so many emotions. Okay, every day in our official life and in the personal life. Most of the times, I think, at least, depending on the person, we all take the view that, we don't want really, let's get away because it's more controversial. Let's not hurt the person. That's been the overarching thing. Okay. So, how does that compare with our everyday life? If we move out of certain things in our everyday life because somebody has hurt us, and we are saying he does not know, I'm okay, I can bear it. Is it the right thing to do or not?
Okay, let us take two things separately. Let us separate out what Arjuna did and what is the situation with Arjuna and Krishna as a separate thing, and we'll take our everyday life in a slightly different way because they are slightly different from each other. Because in the everyday we have to think about, is it a karma yoga? What is the karma yoga aspect of it, right? And let us only talk about the Bhagavad Gita now for few minutes, and then we'll come back to the everyday life.
Absolutely.
So, in the Bhagavad Gita, suppose he had stopped and say, I'm not going to fight because I know I don't want to fight. Not that I'm a coward. I don't want to fight. That's all.
Exactly.
Lord Krishna himself says, The issue is here. If you run away from the battle now, people don't think that you're capable and you're running away. People will always think that you're just a coward. And you're just using this, oh, I really don't want to fight kind of an attitude as just a cover-up, right? Particularly people like Duryodhana wanted him dead anyway. Duryodhana didn't want to wait till Arjuna comes to the battlefield. He wanted to kill him in a wax palace and then burn them up and then bury them. Long time back, don't you think?
So, but do you really think that then we are doing things for people who might have to think, that we are not a coward? I mean, what is the overarching thing? Just because somebody is going to think what bad about you or good about you, why should you do? If your conscience says that this is not the right thing to do, why would you not do it?
See, now let us come back to only Arjuna's position now. First, okay, we know something about Arjuna. Arjuna, even though he was running around for the 13 years in the Vanavasa and in the forest and everything like that, right? He had a bunch of people who were his own subjects, right? That means he was ruling a small set of people. He was responsible for so many people, his family and the related relatives and several people, right? So, by Arjuna being the leader of those, first of all, he had the Panchala Desa before, right? That is, he had 5 gramas for himself, right? Mm. So he had, and in this army, if you look at it, there are a lot of people on the Pandava side too. They had 7 Akshauhani, Akshauhani means a battle of about 3.5 million people on his side, and about 5.5 million people on Duryodhana's side. And obviously, in Duryodhana's side, Krishna had given his own army also to him. Then they were fighting. That's a separate question. But Arjuna was responsible for a number of people. Suppose he said that I'm not going to fight. I'll walk away, right? The Duryodhana and Kauravas would go and chop the heads of all the followers of Arjuna. He's responsible not only for his family or a couple of people. He's responsible for millions of people. He can't take a selfish, suicidal decision at this point. He has to think of so many people who are supporting him and for whom he is a Kshatriya, he is a king, he is a protector. So whatever it may come, he should go and protect the rights of the people whom he is supporting. He is like a leader. It's just like saying that tomorrow, if Modi comes and says that, look, I am not going to handle this people around near me. Let them come and kill me. Let them put nuclear missiles. I'm going to open my borders up and say, I don't want to participate in killing of anybody. Even if they kill me, it's okay. So what good is that? That means you're allowing the destruction of so many people. And more than that, you are allowing adharma to win, which is an even more serious error of the future. You are allowing the unjust people to take over. You are allowing the unjust people to prosper. That means the whole universe you will eventually wipe off, because the unjust people will take your entity, become more powerful after conquering your kingdom, and then they will conquer other, and it will be ruled by a Rakshasa. One day the whole world will be under a Rakshasa, and an unjust person will rule, and he will do whatever he wants. He will not let anybody live in peace. That means you are destroying the humanity. And from day one, you took the help of your mother, father, relatives, friends, everybody to survive and to win everything in this world. And now you're giving them up, disowning them as if they're unconnected to you. You're selfish in this view, if you do that, right? So either way, Arjuna had to do this, not even considering the philosophical aspects of it. Arjuna should have done this. That's one thing. But here, this is Dharma Yuddha. What is Dharma Yuddha is very important. It's relating war into spirit, the world of spirit. How can war be related to spirit? because he is an army man to start with. He got engaged in army. That was his nature. He's a Kshatriya. His guna is Kshatriya. He's a protector. Everybody is saying that, okay, you are going to help us out. Even in a land, you need security, right? Security is the first thing you need in a land. If you are secure, if your borders are secure, you can promote music, knowledge. Universities can thrive. You can propagate knowledge. You can give everything in the world. If you don't have security in your nation, nothing can be done. So if you're doing away with your duty, that means that is not promoting your spiritual growth also. Spiritual growth and physical life is connected to each other. We can forget about it, saying that, oh, I don't know anything about the spirit. I don't see it. It's unmanifest. It's not thinkable and all those things. I will live my life and do whatever I want. The hedonism, going after only material pleasure and power and fame and everything, will lead to its own problems. But that will also corrupt something which is within us. What we are forgetting in our life is something beyond our regular life. There is some spirit here. That spirit is eternal. It will go into a different body. If it goes to a different body, you may not have the capacity today what you have as a thinking power, the discrimination, and the opportunities you have. You may lose that in a different body. And again, if it goes to another body, again you lose. Years and years and years are gone. Janmas, lives and lives are all gone. So you have to do the right thing to have a spiritual progress so that you can achieve ultimate happiness. What Lord Krishna is trying to say is, all this physical happiness is very little. In the 5th chapter, he says, Ehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkayona evate adyantavantah konteya nate shurmate buddhaha. Whatever experiences you get through physical connection between senses and sense objects, pleasure, they are only few minutes. They are very temporal. You get bored of it after some point. Nateshu ramate buddhaha. An intelligent person does not shine in those kind of activities. Those experiences are very minimal. An intelligent person goes after eternal spiritual happiness, which is really there. Most people don't even think that there is there because they haven't seen it. They haven't experienced the spiritual pleasure. If they know the power of spiritual pleasure, they will never go after the physical pleasure. Param drashtva nivartate. Lord Krishna says, once you get the taste of Atman, the taste of the spirit, you will not go after these sensual pleasures.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Krishna, this is Srinath.
Awesome.
While explaining the nature of Atma, Bhagavan compares Atma to a stuna, which is pillar, and says it is immovable.
Mm-hmm.
How can we say an Atma immovable when it moves from body to body?
Or don't take it as immovable. See, Sanskrit should not be. See, one thing though, beyond all these things, right? Our language has its disadvantages. Language cannot tell you about Atman so easily. It could be Sanskrit or it could be anything. Sanskrit probably is the purest language in a way to express spiritual information. But it does not give you a correct way. Stuna here means only constant. It is unchangeable. Stuna means that it is really constant. It's like a pillar. Suppose we use it. Oh, this person was a pillar in my life. Without that person, I wouldn't have lived. What does it mean? That person was always there for you, helping you. That didn't pass. That didn't crumble. It was strong. That means it's indestructible, strong, and constant. That's all. Stuna may have different views, but what do you call Stuna has its, language has its, you need to tolerate some variation in language and its meanings.
So are you actually saying the nature of Jiva is immovable or unchanged here?
And nature of Jiva is unchanged. Obviously, the Jiva's nature does not change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not the mobility.
Okay.
Okay, mobility, again, there is a question about all those things. Well, let us assume that mobility is there. Let us put it this way.
Okay.
See, mobility. You really opened up a can of worms, unfortunately. Does Jiva has size, right? Question comes up. I know that my Jiva is associated with my body. I can say that because I see life in my body. I can turn around. I'm aware of my surroundings and say, oh yeah, there's Jiva. And if I die, this Jiva will go away from here. But Jiva has motion. Is Jiva a physical entity? Can I say Jiva is so many micro nanometers or something like that? Size cannot be assigned to Jiva. Oh, Jiva is Anu, Eshono, Atma, Chetasa Veditavyaha, Vedas have different statements. It is like the 1/10,000th portion of a horse's hair, that is the size of Jiva. Is it really the size of Jiva? Now we have things which are even on a super microscope. You can even go much lower than that size, right? That's only a way of expression. Jiva does not have size. Jiva is a spiritual entity. It's just like saying that your happiness is 37 liters. My happiness is 28 liters. This is a stupid way of saying it, right?
Yeah.
This is happiness. When happiness cannot be measured, can Jiva be measured? Jiva, Swarupam, Anu is a Sanskrit terminology. Indivisible. It's some entity which is not divisible. Okay, to keep it that way. Do you think Jiva is completely understandable through our brain and thoughts or intelligence or anything like that? It's not. It can only give you certain indications, certain aspects of Jiva you can understand. You have to experience Jiva truly, and our experience is limited because our consciousness is mixed up in this body. Our ajnana is there. We are not able to feel the real sense of Jiva here. I have talked to many Sampradayika scholars. They sort of say that, oh, Jiva is Anu. Anutve sati chetanatvam jivasya lakshanam. Vibhutve sati chetanatvam paramatmaha lakshanam. So consciousness, which is all pervasive consciousness, is Paramatma, and infinitely small and still conscious is Jivatma. They give this kind of explanations, definitions, and all those things. It's only to give you an indication, just to indicate, just because a micro bacteria can have life and a Jiva can enter it and the microbacteria can die and then Jiva can go away. It's just a way of speaking. Even Lord Krishna says that. Utkramantam Sthita Pragya Bhunjanam Va Gunanvitam Vimudha Nanupashyanti Pashyanti Jnanachakshushaha in 13th chapter. Utkramantam Sthita Pragya, leaving the body or inside the body. Bhunjanam va gunanvitam. This Jiva experiences all this the sattva rajas tamo gunas of this Prakriti. Vimudha nanupashyanti. The people who are deluded will not see this Jiva. They will not see this consciousness within themselves. Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. The jnanis can see this entity while leaving the body and when they're connected to the body, they can see. That means you can say it as locomotion. You can say it as, okay, it is left. What we can say is that the relationship between my consciousness and this body is gone when I'm dead. The relationship is gone. What exactly is this relationship? Even for a simple practical thing like light, you say light could be a particle, light could be an electromagnetic wave. Do we have a good understanding of light today? You don't.
Yeah.
With physical entities being so evasive to our intellect and our experience, what are we talking about this Jeeva? That is why Lord Krishna says, Acharyavat Paschati Kashidenam. People with great difficulty figure out a little bit of Jivatma and then talk about it. Other people listen to it. Having listened to all these lectures, nobody knows what this Jiva is. Shrutva Pyenam Veda Nachaiva Kaschite. Nobody knows. Lord Krishna says, is it a joke? He didn't just pick it up from somewhere and just say, oh, just say something about it. No. Lord Krishna mentions this. In fact, if I remember right, Kathopanishad says the same thing. Acharyavat Paschati Kaschidenam, Acharya Manishronati. There are very similar verses there in Acharyo Vakta or some other shloka is there. I'm not sure about the shloka. I can figure it out.
Okay.
Any other doubt?
It's already late, but next class we'll talk about Vyavasatmika Buddhi again. I have a little difficulty there.
Please send an email in advance so that I can think about it and keep it ready, okay?
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you. Namaskaram. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much.